Samantha?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not even listening. I lost my orgasm.
In the cab? What do you mean lost?
I mean, I just spent the last 2 hours fucking with no finale.
It happens. Sometimes you just can't get there.
I can always get there.
Every time you have sex? She's exaggerating. Please say you're exaggerating.
Well, I'll admit I have had to polish myself off once or twice, but yes. When I RSVP to a party, I make it my business to come.
See, I've been a no-show on more than one occasion. Sex can still be great without an orgasm.
That is such a crock of shit.
She has a point.
What's wrong with me?
Listen, you've got plenty of orgasms under your belt. You're gonna be fine. Now let's retrace your steps. Okay. Were you on top?
Well, how is that relevant?
You mean you can have them on the bottom?
Top, bottom, upside down?
All right, now you're just showing off.
I'm asking for help.
Sweetie, I'm sure it will pop up when you least expect it, like jury duty. Unless...
What?
I read this article about a woman who's having orgasms round the clock.
Uh-huh.
And then boom! Orgasm stopped. For good. It was like she had used them all up or something.
That's the meanest thing you've ever said to me.
A little Sex in the City for a Wednesday afternoon. Why not? How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Stars of David Experience. This is where we fight anti-Semitism along with stupidity, right? And we do it with Louvre-inspired portraits of Golden Age cinema stars celebrating the American Jewish culture and their contribution to Hollywood. Let's give it up. It's you know, I've got a lot of Jewish friends, and they're, you know, when you talk about the Jewish presence in Hollywood, there's a somewhat of a, you know, the anti-Semitic trope is that, you know, the Jewish culture came in and manipulated, you know, all the people in Hollywood and created that. Really, you know, that is ridiculous. That's stupid. And the truth of the matter is that the world was hungry for diversity and inclusion, and that is baked. It's baked in the cake when you're talking about Jewish culture. And today we're going to explore the power and the sexiness of Jewish women and the Jewish influence in how Jewish Hollywood redefined female power. And I'm not, you know, we're learning about this together, right? this idea that the American Jewish culture really transformed the world by putting these ideals of inclusion and diversity onto the big screen, before Israel was even a state. And so I'm leveraging Chat GPT. I was like, Chat GPT, man, come on, give it up and let's explore this. And I said, help me out for the next broadcast. And I said, sure. How about, talking about the women? And I don't know this movie. I'm not necessarily an expert on the golden age of cinema like some people are. But, we're here to educate ourselves. And so it talked about how Jewish filmmakers like George Cukor. I'm not familiar with George Cukor, but we're gonna learn about him together more. Champion complex female characters, and so let's take a look at George and the movies. Wow, these apparently it looks like all the movies that Monsieur Cukor had a presence in who he helped eat these just My Fair Lady. Okay, so we're going to talk about the women, 1939. We're going to take a look at this groundbreaking film, and what ChatGPT does is it makes the argument that these early days of cinema sort of set the stage for groundbreaking sitcoms like Sex and the City, where Samantha loses her orgasm. Quality, man, just quality entertainment. And so let's I'm getting all kinds of strikes. YouTube is like copyright, but I feel this is fair use. We're talking about the subject and we're bringing it home. So in that spirit of we're going to turn down the sound here, and I'm going to probably maybe talk over these trailers so I don't get pulled off of YouTube. But so let's take a look. All right. The women, and it's all about men.
Edith, take a good grip on yourself. You're going to die.
All right. So, what is so important here as a portrait artist? See, every time I use the hotkeys, it changes the YouTube thing. Something I gotta remember. But okay. So this is just so perfect. You see that close up? All right. This is the power of the portrait and the power of Hollywood and the legacy of what we're seeing here. You see that happy, bright, happy face? Our brains are designed. We figured this out like 1997 or whatever. We found out that there are two parts of the brain called the fusiform gyrus that lights up when you see a portrait. And you see that face was like 30 feet tall, man. And here are these women. I'm not quite sure about the storyline, but they're affluent women interacting in a very affluent high society world. And this is 1939, man. 1939. And let's look at more of this imagery, and I'll turn off the music here.
Take a good grip on yourself. You're going to die. Stephen Haynes is stepping out on Mary.
Sylvia, who told you? Are you curious? What?
A manicurist. Okay, see, let's out of the boudoir onto the screen. Skyrockets Claire Booth's sensational stage hit of 135 women. Nothing on their minds but men, baby. See, look at that. Women in having a drink. All right, a Puritan Christian or Islamic fundamentalist executive producer would have never, ever in a million years be showing this type of imagery. See them with their claws out.
2 years to grow claws, Mother. Jungle Red. Say, who are you to laugh, my pet? I've made good with my husband. Is that the way to talk to me after you? Oh, done what? You didn't know a soul when you married Stephen, after all.
So this is 1939. Glamorous, powerful women in high society. And that is a product of a world that was hungry to see women in this light. You couldn't get that with a Puritan Christian or Islamic fundamentalist sensibility. It's unique to the Jewish culture to be presenting women with such authority in such a powerful light in society. All right. And as we're saying, this is the Stars of David campaign is an expression against stupidity. And we're talking about stupidity like this. Queers for Palestine, right? Come on, I think we can, let's see, I think we can get some, right? Queers for Palestine, no pride in genocide, all right? What are you talking about? Are you talking about the 80 million Chinese that died in the Great Leap Forward? No, that doesn't make any sense. Are you talking about the 30 million Russians and Ukrainians that were starved and tortured to death in the Gulag Archipelago? Is that what you're talking about? No. Oh, wait, let me get it. You're talking, right, when you're talking about no pride in genocide, you're talking about how Palestine, well, not really Palestine, but Hamas, right, attacked Israel. So it was just like an attack, just like any other time in history when one group of people attack another. Israel fights back, and we call that genocide, or do we call that stupidity? And as we, what are you saying? What are you saying? The pride flag with the Palestinian flag? The Muslim cultures don't like gay people, man. I mean, and these are supposed to be college-educated people, all right? And so, this one just takes the cake in terms of stupidity. So unbelievable, it's hilarious. You can't pinkwash colonialism. Does anybody know what that means? You can't pinkwash colonialism? What does that mean? So the Stars of David campaign is a way to say this stuff is really stupid, right? And it's not good to be calling people stupid all the time. We're doing it together because this is the broadcast and we're having fun. But the Stars of David campaign is really about celebration, okay? And so we're celebrating Golden Age movie stars through portraiture, all right? That's the whole point, and we want these images of gold superstars who were propelled into the public consciousness through Jewish executive producers and Jewish financing, right? And she has a whole, we're not going to talk about it right now, but, huge gender bending personage, this Marlene Dietrich, and in this DEI community, this portrait was rejected, and so it's a long story. We'll talk about that some other time. So let's go and let's so within this broadcast, right? We're going to talk about the golden age film, the cultural and feminist legacy that the Jewish culture, the Jewish executive producer, that Hollywood, who was inspired by and who's had executive producers and diverse actors and women and black musicians and gay playwrights and so on and so forth. That culture was the golden age of Hollywood. And so we're talking about in this broadcast of the women in 1939, right? It was a groundbreaking step, and the legacy brought to the table films like All About Eve and Sex and the City. So we saw Sex in the City in the opening, in the cold open. I'm not too familiar with It's All About Eve, so let's check out All About Eve, and we're gonna see Betty Davis, all right, and Marilyn Monroe together. Come on, Betty Davis and Marilyn Monroe together for the first time, I think, on film. So this is 1950. Fasten your seat belts, man. Betty Davis and Marilyn Monroe. Betty Davis with a cigarette. All right. So, oops, I keep using my hotkeys and it keeps moving things around. I have to remember not to do that. Look how glamorous Betty Davis is. All right, that deserves a round of applause. Bring the music down, and let's see what Betty Davis and Marilyn Monroe together. Come on, let's check it out.
Je vous remercie infiniment pour l'invitation.
Enchanté to you too. I distinctly remember Addison crossing you off my guest list. What are you doing here?
Dear Margot, you were an unforgettable Peter Pan. You must play it again soon. You remember Miss Caswell?
I do not. How do you do?
We've never met. Maybe that's why.
Miss Caswell is an actress, a graduate of the Copacabana School of Dramatic Art. Ah, Eve.
Good evening, Mr. DeWitt.
I had no idea you two knew each other.
This must be at long last our formal introduction. Until now, we've only met in passing.
That's how you met me, in passing.
Yes.
Eve, this is an old friend of Mr. DeWitt's mother, Miss Caswell, Miss Harrington.
Miss Caswell, how do you do?
Addison, I've been wanting you to meet Eve for the longest time.
It could only have been your natural timidity that kept you from mentioning it.
You've heard of her great interest in the theater.
We have that in common.
Then you two must have a long talk.
I'm afraid Mr. DeWitt would find me boring before too long.
You won't bore him, honey. You won't even get a chance to talk.
Claudia, come here. You see that man? That's Max Fabian, the producer. Now go and do yourself some good.
Why do they always look like unhappy rabbits?
Because that's what they are. Now go and make him happy. Now, don't worry about your little charge. She'll be in safe hands.
All right. So, did you see Betty Davis with a drink in one hand and a cigarette in the other? That in 1950, all right, is groundbreaking to have a woman to be that independent that she could have a drink, a cigarette. That must have been hard to film, because that cigarette's gonna if you don't hit that scene and everybody doesn't make, you got to relight the cigarette again. I wonder if there's somebody saying, well, the cigarette was about 3/4 done, or something like that, I don't know. And so when we talk about the Jewish influence in Hollywood, I'm proposing, and even Chat GPT proposes that it's one of celebration, and to understand how things would be different if Hollywood was under the influence of Puritan Christian or Islamic fundamentalist control and inspiration, right? If it's Puritan Christian money or Islamic fundamentalist money, both ChatGPT and myself, we say it would be completely different. You'd have women who were less in a role of power and independence, right? You'd have women in more traditional subservient roles, because that's how Puritan Christians and Islamic fundamentalists, that's their culture, which is cool. All right? But there's a cognitive dissonance when we have the LGBTQ community losing their freaking minds and talking crap about Israel and talking crap about Jewish people. It's stupidity. It's agnostic stupidity. It's stupidity as not in a political sense, but in a sense of ignorance, like a lack of understanding. Everybody's all like cultural appropriation or whatever. Everybody's all freaked out about identity politics. Well, this is the identity of the Jewish culture, is to have this diversity and conclusion. And once again, we will be celebrating that through portraits that we're going to bootstrap, because we're going to take this message worldwide, and we're going to have exhibitions around the world, because there are places in this country still, there are places in this world and even in this country where images of golden age women, powerful women, would be banned, interdict, as they say in France. And in the spirit of incredible stupidity, let's watch where a Supreme Court nominee, Madam Jackson, I don't want to mispronounce her, Katanya Brown Jackson, okay? This is classic in terms of just unbelievable, ridiculous, stupidness. So here we go.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition?
Give me a straight answer.
Oops, sorry. I keep doing that. I keep using the hotkeys. I apologize. Let's do this again.
Provide a definition for the word woman.
Can I provide a definition? No.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Not in this context.
So
I'm not a biologist.
The meaning of the word woman is so unclear and controversial that you can't give me a definition?
Senator, in my work as a judge, what I do is I address disputes. If there's a dispute about a definition, people make arguments, and I look at the law and I decide. So I'm not.
The fact that you can't give me a straight answer about something as fundamental as what a woman is underscores the dangers of the kind of progressive education that we are hearing about.
Yes, thank you. All right, I think we can get some applause in there so we can stop this. Yeah, and so we have gone off the cliff in terms of just ridiculousness. And so instead of, and I'm very prone to this, instead of being negative, it's easy to be negative, and it's something that I'm trying not to be so negative, pointing fingers and name calling, say, yeah, stupid. Trying to get as much of this, right? Trying to provoke as much as that energy, right? Right, there's no utility in trying to provoke, that type of negative energy. So what we're doing is we are celebrating. Yes, it's a celebration. And these prints are on for sale. There's 32 minutes left. They're 50% off. And where are they? They're right there. Yeah, baby. And so this is our flagship sort of image. It's the origin story. It's what's inspired the Stars of David campaign. Stars of David. Right? You can go to I love the QR code action. Where the QR code should be coming up any second. Anyways, so this is the Stars of David campaign. There's the QR code. Yeah, baby. All right. See how slow? I apologize. So we're celebrating a legacy of an inclusion and an artistic triumph. And we're doing it with images of Golden Age movie stars, painted in a Louvre-inspired method. This is a realistic method in honor and celebration of the lighting of that time and how they lit these movie stars to become so powerful on screen. And so here's the origin story. I guess we can play it for you. And so this this image was proposed for a mural, a mini mural, and I was going around the community, and I was told by a leader in the artistic community who was a part of this city for decades, and he says, you don't have a snowball's chance in hell of getting this image. And I was just like, what? What? I don't have a snowball's. He says, no. He says, this is a DEI community, all right? Your image is too sexy, it's too pro-Jewish, and worst of all, it's too white. DEI is about a hatred of the white colonialist thing. I was like, what? I thought this guy was completely out of his mind, but he was completely right. So this image, it's got rejected 3 times already. And so out of my just complete what? I created this video. Thank you. It was with help with music, is all original music. And so here we go. All right. Yes, band. Ooh, too sexy. Too sexy. And I think, excuse me 1 second here, I'll make sure all the audio is up. There we go. It sounded a little bit light on the audio section. Anyways, we're all good. Just checking my levels. Looking good. Maybe we can bring the levels up a little bit. Let's see.
My image was rejected for a mural in a Chicagoland suburb. A local businessman said my image was too sexy, too pro-Jewish, and worst of all, too white for this DEI village. Jewish culture exported diversity through the golden age of cinema to a worldwide audience. This village made a mistake.
All right. So, we're just... Come on. And so, we're selling prints. I've got... so they come in 3 sizes. 3 foot by 3 foot. I'm working on it now. 3 foot by 3 foot, which 8 inches and 3.5 inches. And they're a centimeter squared for the prints, right? I'm $9 to $12 centimeter squared when I put brush to canvas. Where's my brush? There. And where are we? Yeah, man, come on. Yes, indeed. Oh. So, yeah. So you can follow and you click right here, and this 3 foot by 3 foot heirloom print is, during this broadcast, half off. Okay, this is just driving me nuts. I apologize. You're gonna see my oops, sorry. You're gonna see my, okay, I have to, this image is gotta be like that. Much better. What am I doing? Oh, yeah. And so what we do also here, I gotta work it into the mix, is right, anybody who's part of the campaign, the Stars of David experience, I'm gonna teach you how to paint. Come on. And it's a mindful way of creating art. And I'll show you in a second, because this all goes in. I don't have it. Oh yeah, here it is. This should probably all be on one thing. The 60-second desktop atelier. All right. So this is about taking your computer and setting it up. So this is all the tools you need, right there. Nothing fancy. Desktop easel. Your job, right? So if you're interested in painting with me, your job, number one job, is to find yourself a desktop easel. That's the hardest thing you're going to do. Or an easel that you can put next to your computer. All right? So let me show you how this works. I got it right here set up for you so you can see. So this is my desktop. This is how I do my broadcasts. I got everything here. And so I'm going to show you the 60-second atelier. I move my keyboard over like this. I move this light out of the way. We go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, and I can even put my hand claps up in here. Check that out. Yeah. Okay, so boom. If you can tell me who this guy is a very controversial figure, and he will definitely make people do this. There will be this guy, this image. There will be much weeping when this image finally. So if you can tell me who this this image is, right, you will get a free small print, 3" by 3.5" print from me, $100 value. So tell me who this guy is. Now this is how we start out, right? This is my atelier, literally like $8 on $8 on, I don't know where I got this. I think Michael's was on sale. I keep this is a silicone sheet that you use for cutting, and just keep these clamps here to keep it off, because I like to paint here. Don't like to get razors off of here, so I got my little clamps there, and I clamp it right to the easel. So these are like $1.50, whatever it is. Your job is to get your desktop easel right. You want it to be like this. So when you're painting, right, your image on your computer is the same size as your image here. All right, and you start upside down. So we're not gonna really paint today, but you'll get the idea. So you come here, you got your easel, you got your reference image. We start in a binary exploration of the image. This is all about location, tone, and putting the right tone in the right place, right? And so we get our music going. Wait, let me so yeah, it's very extremely relaxing, and I like to use oh, come on, there's what is this? I like to, there we go. All right, I like to let's see if I can crank it up here. All right. Now I'm telling you, people, here's the canvas. This is the 432. Hopefully this is royalty free. I'm getting strikes and, you know, not really strikes, but YouTube is like, what are you doing? What's that music? I'm like, it's from you guys, man. It's supposed to be free. What's up? So anyway, okay, so all right, and so there is the image, and we start out upside down. So when we put it all together, it looks like that. Now you get your 4, 3, 2 going, man, and you don't think about nothing. You got your tones here, which I don't have at the moment. I'm not going to paint today. We'll do it some other time. And then you just hit on it. And then with my template, which is designed, right? So this is at a 30% reduction in tone. Oh, you just come in here, start blasting in. There's a grid there for you, so you can, for exact locations, you can measure where you are to make placement even easier. And as you get better, you're not gonna need to measure as much. And then 20% reduction. If you need the grid after it's there for you. This is no change in brightness. And then eventually, once you get here, you turn it around. And the minute that you turn it around, if you have the discipline not to make a move, but once you get to the point where you're done with your tone and placement, you turn it around, you just are like, what? I did this? And the important part is because what happens as an artist is your ego gets every artist from Michelangelo to Picasso. Every artist, doesn't matter, Prince, the Beatles, every artist, when they're creating, are thinking, oh, this is going to be so great. I want this to be awesome. I want the world to love me. I want all of the people who told me I'm great to tell me I'm great again. That's why you get people who get famous early on or get this big hit, and then they lose their mind. Like, well, what do I do now? What do I do next? I'm never going to achieve. And the pressure to do something just as great as like your first big hit is tremendous. With this, it doesn't matter. You're not thinking about anything about placement and tone and placement. What value is where, and where does it go, right? So you're looking, okay, you say this tonal value, can you see I gotta change the color so you can see of my mouse. You say, okay, where does it, this is the darkest dark, so this here, and I chose this image specifically because of the contrast ratio. You always want to get a photo that is got the lightest. If it's just milk toasty mid-tone, you don't want a yes, that deserves a laugh. Milk toast mid-tone. You don't want a milk toasty mid-tone. This light blazing is the lightest light, right? And so let's try to find the darkest dark. Could be down here, on the eyes, right? And contrast ratio is what makes it fun. And so this is just like insanely white over here, insanely bright, right? So this area right here is just insanely bright. And then you just, right, make it so your image on your computer here is the same size as the image there, and you're just painting shapes and keeping it as less ego as possible. You don't want to be painting this face, especially if you're painting like a commission or something for somebody you're close to, right? You'd be like, oh God, I want to make this perfect. The moment your ego gets into it, it's over. And I remember Hillary Clinton has a portrait that you can see in the face. The artist was like, I'm going to make this perfect. So the rest of the painting has a looseness to it, but he tightens up on the face, and he, in my opinion, just kind of destroys the feel of it. So this is a Louvre, many years in Paris, was responsible for this technique. And the fact that, I found out very early on that painting in a realistic style is completely difficult to market in an art world that's centered around abstract expressionism. And I just did not have the desire to get in there, as an artist. And it was a gift given to me, this ability to paint, and so I never pursued it seriously. And then, just because I don't know how I did it, but in Paris I got these commissions through a close friend and associate, and I'm as close to a royal court painter as an American can get. So I've got videos, and you can see the joy on the faces of people who receive these portraits, and how powerful a portrait can be. And so fast forward to today, and the fact that portraits aren't I'm going to sort of leave our desktop atelier. So here we go. Get ready, right? So I'm gonna lock. Let's see. I think this is a better shot here. Right. So I'll bring it so we can see the entire setup. Right. So there's my computer. So I'm gonna lock the canvas board to the thing. Move the light up so I don't hit it. And then 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, move my keyboard over, and we're ready for the rest of the day. And so excuse me. So that's the plan, man. Meditation, Stars of David experience, the joy, the pleasure, the celebration of the American Jewish culture and its influence on the world. That's what we're doing. And if people end up going like this, there's nothing we can do about it. Oh, an image of a glorious, wonderful Jewish woman, or cinema produced and funded by Jewish executive producers. Oh no. Is that an expression of colonialism? I don't know. Oh my God. Oh jeez. So, on these broadcasts we can have fun, but in general, celebration, art, portraits, Stars of David experience, we're taking it worldwide, and we're going to bootstrap the seed money by selling prints. And if anyone is interested in purchasing an actual painting, that comes with an NFT campaign. So we'll talk about that's kind of down the road. But for right now, museum quality heirloom prints, one-of-a-kind prints, each one numbered. We've got 100 ready to go. And I think we're done for the broadcast for today. All right. So that's right. The second today I've got to finish getting of the components of this site down. So let's say goodbye, because this offer is only good until for the next 6 minutes. 50% off on this 3-foot by 3-foot print. Museum quality. See, imagine someone walks into your house and you're like, wow, yeah, hey, oh man, that's beautiful. That's a gorgeous portrait. And then you get to say, this is part of the Stars of David experience. There's like, what? The Stars of David experience? What is that? Well, you see, this artist believed that by celebrating the contribution of Jewish executive producers and the American Jewish influence in Hollywood, we're actually celebrating diversity and inclusion. And this thing that America is known for was supercharged through the golden age of cinema. The golden age of cinema put black musicians, gay playwrights, strong women on the planet. All right? And that's what these sad, intellectually bankrupt kids don't understand. They should be holding portraits of Marlene Dietrich and celebrating the Jewish community instead of trying to lump Jewish people into a colonialist narrative. All right? There is nothing more stupid and more ignorant, cognitively dissonant than trying to put Jewish people, the Jewish culture, and try to mold them in this white, toxic, male, colonialist box. It's so embarrassing, all right? If you got kids in college, moms and dads out there, you gotta tell them, you gotta say, no, don't embarrass me. You're my child, okay? Please don't go around with your Jews for Palestine sort of craziness. All right. Stars of David experience will be back on Friday. All right. questions and comments, you want to learn how to paint like the greatest of all time, don't be afraid, because I won't let you fail. We're going to handcuff lightning and put thunder in jail. We'll rock the canvas with courage and never ever retreat, because those too lazy to join us, they've already been beat. No virus can stop us, because we're magnific. We're gonna be so bad we make medicine sick. So do you wanna live forever? Well, that's how I feel. So let's float like a butterfly and paint like it's real. Oh, what? Maybe I should end like Carol Burnett and every broadcast with my little Muhammad Ali inspired rhyme. Alright everyone, thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time.